For well over a decade now, the 6'4" well-dynamic forward at every single level has been able to not just elevate herself on the court, but also elevate and be a positive effect on every single one of her teammates. Now, it was clear from the very first time this talented individual first stepped foot in the pros that she was going to be in the conversation as one of the all-time greats one day. And throughout all the adversity, she's always managed to keep working. This is the A'ja Wilson story. A'ja Wilson was born on August 8th, 1996 in Columbia, South Carolina. Now, basketball definitely ran in the family because her father Roscoe's basketball talents allowed him to play professionally overseas in the early 80s in Europe for a total of 10 seasons. While her older brother Ronaldo, on the other hand, also played ball overseas. But coming up as a kid, she was honestly just a normal girly girl and initially had no interest to pick up a basketball, as she was more so focusing on soccer and volleyball. But that was until her father noticed a growth spurt in her at the age of 10 years old, which resulted in him signing her up for AAU basketball. But things didn't start off so bright.
I got no playing time at all, none whatsoever. And my dad was kind of like, A'ja, you got one more year. I'm gonna give you one more chance to try to show it. So then that's when I really fell in love with it.
And just like that, her love for the game would start to grow. She would become inspired to carve her own path on the court. A'ja and Roscoe would practice every single day in the driveway at the Wilsons' home, constantly sharpening up her craft. And as she received training from her father, he constantly would test her and try to make her mad by blocking her shots and playing physical. And over time, that toughness no doubt translated into the court, as she made the Heathwood Hall's private school varsity squad as just an 8th grader.
But then she started to grow, and we started to play. We used those 2 trees outside as out of bounds, and we play, and I'd smack that shot away from her, and it's just, she'd get a little frustrated, but she stayed with it. And I saw that she had a work ethic. So then we just got into the gym. We just started to work and doing some pretty involved, putting in some serious work.
Now, she simply dominated her talent at the high school level as well as on the AAU circuit. And just like that, she had worked her way up into being regarded as one of the nation's best players in her class of 2014.
Every time I played, my dad's always like, they're coming after you because you're the #1 player. Like, they want to say they did this to the #1 player or something. So everyone that I play from here on out is going to give it their all.
Throughout her time in high school, she was able to put up 25 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 blocks a contest. Now, as just a 16-year-old, she was named to the USA Under-19 national team, where she would win a gold medal in the World Cup for 3 straight years. And as she grew to be 6'4", Wilson was easily one of, if not the most versatile forward in all of high school at the time. During her sophomore year, not only was she a stellar soccer player, Wilson did her thing while playing volleyball and even earned all-state honors. But didn't stop there. She also competed in track and field and broke her high school's 100-meter record. But on the court, her basketball talents allowed her to lead Heathwood Hall to the 2014 state championship as a senior. Her 35 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks per game allowed her to will her team to the state championship game, and even came up big when her team needed it the most by hitting a 3-point buzzer beater, which ultimately resulted in a win. Wilson would go on to win the National High School Basketball Player of the Year. Following that, she was named a McDonald's All-American and was ranked the #1 rated player according to ESPN in all of high school basketball. Now, at this point in time, the 5-star recruit had already racked up offers from schools like UConn, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And after deep thought and discussion with her family, she finally made her decision.
I'll be attending the University of South Carolina.
Now, in her freshman season, she appeared in 37 games. In her solid 13 points, 7 rebounds to go along with 2 blocks per game allowed her to be awarded Freshman of the Week 5 times and SEC Freshman of the Year. Now, in 2016, as a sophomore, she honestly just became well more dynamic as a player. Wilson would win her first SEC Player of the Year award and was a consensus All-American. A'ja's presence allowed her to lead the Gamecocks to an SEC regular season and a tournament championship. Now, in 2017, Wilson once again led the Gamecocks to an SEC regular season and tournament championship and tallied off that season, going on to win the school's first national championship with over Mississippi State.
I mean, just overcoming adversity. This team has played with so much heart. We faced so much adversity, and just I can't even put into words the feeling that I've had and what we've been through, and just to finally achieve a huge goal of all of ours is just amazing feeling. And I just want to thank God, and I just want to thank my parents and our coaches.
Now, during her senior campaign, she took that next step and had her best season statistically as she won All National Player of the Year award. She averaged 23 points, 12 rebounds, as well as 3 blocks. She won a 3rd straight SEC Player of the Year award and was also a consensus All-American for the 3rd straight year. Now, even though her and her crew did come up short of winning back-to-back national championships, Wilson's hard work allowed her to end her college career at South Carolina as the all-time leading scorer for the school. At this point in time, she was projected the top pick in the 2018 NBA draft, and after entering, she was selected first overall by the Las Vegas Aces. Now on May 20th, 2018, in her WNBA debut, she had a double-double, putting up 14 points and 10 rebounds against the Connecticut Sun, showing a lot of promise. Now, just a couple months later, she scored her career high at the time, 35 points, along with 13 rebounds in a clutch overtime win against the Indiana Fever, becoming the second rookie in league history to score 35 points and grab 10 rebounds. Later that season, she was voted into the 2018 WNBA All-Star Game and ended her rookie campaign being named WNBA Rookie of the Year. And after just barely missing the playoffs, Wilson came back even harder during her second season, as she helped lead her team to the playoffs and made it as far as the semifinals while putting up averages that season of 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks a contest. During the 2020 season, the Aces were championship contenders, but the season was delayed and shortened to 22 games in the bubble at IMG Academy due to the pandemic. And as her star teammate Liz Cambridge set out due to health concerns, Aja simply put her team on her back and advanced her team to the WNBA Finals for the second straight time in franchise history. But due to the short-handed roster, the Aces would be bounced in 3 games. But still, Wilson's stellar season allowed her to win MVP. In 2022, Wilson would win her second MVP, but also continued to make strides on both sides of the basketball. And because of that, she also won Defensive Player of the Year after averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and led the league in double-doubles with 17. Now, all those accolades were cool, but since she was a true winner practically her whole basketball career, she knew she had unfinished business and was fiending for a championship. And as she helped the Aces to their second finals appearance in 3 seasons, they managed to beat the Connecticut Sun in 4 games, giving Wilson her first championship ring, as she truly deserved it. On August 22nd, 2023, Aja had a career high, scoring 53 points along with 7 rebounds in a win against the Atlanta Dream. Her 53-point showing tied the WNBA single game record, and it's now one of 3 50-plus point performances in WNBA history. During the 2023 season, she was able to average career highs of 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. That was all good enough for her to end her regular season ranking 3rd in MVP balloting. But as she willed her team to the 2023 WNBA Finals, her crazy dominant presence made her practically unguardable nearly every game. And even though she was snubbed from getting the MVP of the season, she proved on a gamely basis why she was truly the most valuable player in all of basketball. Her outstanding 24-point, 16-rebound game in Game 4 helped the Aces defeat the Liberty, allowing her team to become the first team to go back-to-back in more than 2 decades, with Aja ending it all off, becoming Finals MVP. From being regarded as the worst player on her AAU team as a kid, to grinding her way up into being a straight superstar on the biggest stage, Aja Wilson simply had a goal in mind and was determined to build her reputation as the very best player at every single level she played at. And because of that, she's one of 7 WNBA players who have 2 MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and a Finals MVP.
How did you find the strength within to come up so big in this challenging moment?
My teammates, we lean on each other so much at this time. We fought through so much adversity throughout the season, and we just kept the mind thing. We kept the main thing, and we came out on top. And I can't express how proud I am of my teammates. They picked me up when I was down. We cried together, prayed together, and now we popping champagne together!
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the A'ja Wilson story.